Hello, beautiful learners, and welcome back to my channel. So, today you and I will be solving this question on transformation. And the question said, given the shape PQRS, rotate P, that's this shape, 90 degrees clockwise at -1, 2, label the shape K. So, when we rotate this, we're going to label it K at this point, and then we should reflect P at y is equals to 4. So at y is equals to 4, we'll carry out reflection of P, and then we'll label it as R. Then we should translate P by a column vector -5 and 2. Then we should enlarge P by a scale factor of 2 with a center of -2 and 5. Okay, so let's start with the first option. The first option says we should rotate PQRS 90 degrees clockwise at the center of -1 and 2. So first, let's trace the center of rotation first. So -1. We should also recall that this is x and this is y axis. So -1 is for x and 2 is for y. So this is -1 here and 2 is for y. So we have 2 here for y. This is 1, 2. So they will meet here. So this point is the center of rotation. Let me call it CR, center of rotation, right? So if this is our center of rotation, CR, excuse me, this is our center of rotation, CR. Okay, so how do we carry out rotation? In carrying out rotation, we use some instruments. Very importantly, we use our what? Protractor. So we use our protractor. And then when we want to use our protractor, we will observe the following. All the points here, we will have to trace it to this center of rotation. So we'll just use ruler to connect this, connect this, connect this, and connect to this, right? Okay, so let me use this. Connect all the points together. Connect the point to this portion, which is the center of the rotation. I'll connect this S to the portion. I'll connect R to the center of rotation, and then Q to the center of rotation. Okay, so let's start with point P. I'll rotate 90 degrees clockwise. All right, so I'll place my compass and ensure that the point I have align exactly with P starting at 0. So if P starts at 0, I will count 90 degrees clockwise. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 degrees clockwise. So this is where P, around this angle, that's where you have P. But then let's find the exact position of P. How do you get exact position of P? So you have to measure the distance of P from the center of what? Rotation. So let's measure it. All right, so let me just use this one since it's transparent. Okay, so from center of rotation to P, I have 2.1 centimeters. So I'll have to measure that 2.1 centimeters on this angle that I just took, this portion here, this one. So 2.1, this is 1, this is 2, and this is where 2.1 falls. So this point is the new P, and then I can call it P prime. Okay, so let's do the same for Q, and then we'll go around like that. So for Q, I will keep my protractor to align to Q, starting at what? Q to be what? 0. So this is it. my Q now is at 0. Then I'll take 90 degrees rotation now. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So around this portion. But then I have to measure the distance, right? So let's see. Distance. Okay, let me use ruler so that we'll feel a difference. So we have from here we have 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, 3, 4, 5, 5.6. So on this portion, which is this line, I will measure 5.6. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.5 and 5.6 is here. So the new position of Q is this portion, so I can call it QI. Alright, I'll do the same thing for R now. So let's first put R as the center and then mark that position at 0 first for R at 0 first, and then we'll rotate 90 degrees clockwise. So I take it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. This is 90. And then I'll measure the distance from center of rotation to R. Okay, so here I'm having 1 centimeter, 2, 3, 3.9. So I have 3.9. So I'll measure here to 3.9. 1, 2, 3, 3.9 is just before 4. So this is where my new Q, my new R, sorry, will be. So this is R prime. Then the last point, but not the least, will be S. So let's go for S. I'll have my line here for S. Okay, so I'll rotate 90 degrees. So we have, let's balance it properly. Okay, so we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 90 we are here, 90 around this portion. So I'll measure the distance from center of rotation to S. Okay, so let's see. This is 1, 2, 2 centimeter, 2.6. So that's 2.6. So I'll take it this way. I measure 2.6 on that fainted line. So we have 1, 2, and 2.6 is here. So this portion, this is where our new S is. So put it a prime. So we connect the line, the points now. So this connects to this, and S connects to R here. Then R to Q here, and Q back to P, starting point. So this shape is a rotation of P 90 degrees clockwise, where the center of rotation is what? -1, 2. All right, and they say we should label it K, so I'm writing K here. Okay, so let's observe the next question. The next question said we should do what? We should reflect P at y is equals to 4, and we label it what? As R. Okay, so we have to go to y is equals to 4. At y is equals to 4, meaning x is 0. So when x is 0, y is 4 here. These are the y points, which is the y-axis. This is plus x, this is plus y, minus x, and then minus y down. Okay, so let's put our line at that portion where it is 4 so that we can reflect it, right? Okay, let me use this. I like this because it's transparent. This set square. Okay, so from here we'll just take a straight line this way. All right, so this line is when y is equals to 4, right? Okay, so let's reflect this on this. And you know, reflection has to make it look as if you are viewing the object in a mirror, right? So now we have to trace each point to this line of reflection. So if I want to trace P now, count how many distance P takes to the line of reflection. So if we start counting here, we have from here, that's where P coordinate it started. So P coordinate is 3, 1, right? You can see it 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, right? See 3 horizontally, 1 vertically upward. So we have to count that value to this point now. So for P, we are counting 1, 2, 3. So we'll reflect the 3 the other way to 1, 2, 3. That's up 3. And then we have to trace it to this point, 1, 2, 3. So we go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So this is where new P will be. This is where new P will be. So since this is a new value for P and we have P1 here, so we can call this to P prime prime. Let's do the same for S. Now S moving vertically to the line of reflection, we have 1, 2, 3. That's this point. 4 and 5. So we reflect it 5 the other way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where our new S will be. So we call this S prime prime. Then let's do same for R. Look at where R is here. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have to take it 7 upwards to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is where the new point for R is. This is R prime prime. Then for Q, we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have to take it 7 again as well this way. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is where our new Q is. So this is going to be Q prime prime. So let's connect our line to the dots. So we have to do it this way. And this goes to this. And then this to this. And they say we should call it what? We should label it R. So this is R. So this is a reflection of this image. You can see that this looks like this, but as if it is flipped the other way. Okay, the next question. They say we should translate P by a column vector minus 5 and 2. Right, first, we have to get all the vertices of P, the shape P first. Then we apply the translation. So first and foremost, we know that the vertices of this shape for P, we're going to be having from this portion, right? Okay, first let's just translate it directly on the image. I wanted to do it here, but it will be confusing. Let's just do it from the image. So the column vector, the column vector is minus 5 and 2, right? Minus 5 and 2. So let's take away minus 5 from this and add 2 to it. That's minus 5 and plus 2, right? Minus 5 is for x. So negative x goes this way. So we count minus 5 this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the point where we get the value for x, but they say plus 2, so we move upward twice. 1, 2. This is the point where this p has translated to. So we call it p prime prime prime. Then let's do the same for s. Let's do for s. So s minus 5 and 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 2 upward. 1, 2. So the new s will be found here. S prime prime prime. Okay. So let's do same for r. R will move minus 5 and 2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 2 up. 1, 2 is here at minus 1. So this is the new r. So we have r prime prime prime. Then let's do for q. Q, let's move 5 here and 2 up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 up. 1, 2. So this is where the new q will be here. So this is the new q here. So let's connect the point. This point to this point, and then this point to this point, and then this point to this point, this point to this point. So this is the new shape. This is the new shape. And then did they ask us to call it anything? No. So this is the new shape. The translation of this is this, right? This is q prime prime prime. Okay, the next or the last question said we should enlarge p by a scale factor of 2 with a center minus 2 and 5. So we're going to do that enlargement now. Okay, so let's look at the question very well. So we are enlarging, right? And the scale factor for enlargement is 2. And then they gave us center of enlargement, CE, as minus 2, 5. Okay, so since these two values are given, we will now observe P and carry out this enlargement on it, right? But then, what is our center of enlargement? Let's trace it. Our center of enlargement is minus 2 and 5. Minus 2 is x, which is this point, and then plus 5 is this point, which is y. So this is our center of enlargement, so we call it CE, right? And it has a coordinate minus 2, 5, right? Okay, so now how do you do this enlargement? We have to trace the distance from this center of enlargement to each of the points and multiply the value by 2, since the scale factor is 2, right? Okay, so let's start with P. P, let's see the distance from P to the center of enlargement using the horizontal and vertical movement. So taking the horizontal movement, so we have to move towards the right, and then vertical will move down to P. Okay, so moving towards the right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We get to P, right? So we have 5, and then for this portion, we go down 1, 2, 3, and 4. We get to P as minus 4. So since the k factor is 2, we multiply by 2, so it gives us 10 and minus 8. Then we go for, so I can just call this one IV, which is the new values of this P that we're looking for. So for Q, go to Q, IV. So let's get the coordinates distance from the center of enlargement. So from here, let's get to Q. So we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So at 9, this is the coordinate. So it's 11. Horizontally it's 11. Then vertically, let's start counting vertically. Let's count down. 1, okay, from here. So this is the point here. So this is the point here. So here we count downwards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 11 and minus 8. Multiplying by 2, we have 22 and minus 16. And let's go to the next point, which is point R, IV. R, IV. Then we'll have, let's get the distance from the center of enlargement to R, vertical, horizontally and vertically. So horizontally we go this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 correspond to this 7, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 7 and minus 8 times 2, which will give you 14 and minus 16. Then the last point will be SIV. Okay, so for SIV, we're also going to count again the center of enlargement to S. So we're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then let's count down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 5 and minus 6. So we multiply by 2. So we'll be having 10 and minus 12. Alright, so let's use these coordinates to draw the enlarged shape. The first point, which is for P, we have PIV, we have 10 and minus 8. So X is 10, Y is minus 8. So this is 10, X is 10 here, and Y is minus 8. So they will meet around this point here. They'll meet around this point here. So this is your PIV. Then for QIV is 22 and 16. QIV 22 and minus 16. So S is 22 and minus 16. We trace it down. S is 22 here, so minus 16. We trace it down. And then this is minus 16, so we trace them until they meet. They meet somewhere here, right? They meet somewhere here. So here, so this portion will be the new portion for QIV. All right, so let's go to the one for R. So let's go for R. R here says 14 and minus 16. So I have to trace 14 and minus 16. 14 and minus 16, they will meet somewhere here, somewhere around this portion. So just know that when you are using your graph, you get those lines properly. Since you are using our hands, it's a bit hard to get the main point, but it's good for practice. Instead of you waiting for a printed copy, you can just use this and solve. It will still help. So here we have what? RIV. Then last but not the least is SIV. SIV is 10 and minus 12. So we have 10 here and minus 12 is here. See, they meet somewhere here, right? So we have SIV. So let's connect this point to see the enlarged shape. So this connects to this connects to this connects to this, right? This connects to this, and then this goes back to P. All right, so this is the new and enlarged shape where the scale factor for enlargement is 2, and the center of enlargement is minus 2 and 5. All right, so this brings us to the end of this question. I'm very happy that you followed from start to finish. Please ensure you share this, like and comment, and turn on your notification in case I post more of this. You'll be the first to be notified. All right, bye for now and have a wonderful day.